Hello guys, just doing a quick audio test here. Hello guys, welcome to Helsinki Vantaa International Airport here for today's wonderful little flight down to Mariehamn and back. It is a little island between Sweden and Helsinki. We'll go ahead and connect. I won't ever know really on this flight if we have ATC until it pops up in VPilot, because it doesn't actually, this area of the world doesn't work on Vatsim, sadly, because they've changed their FIRs, like the Frankfurt Centre. That doesn't work either, but no mind. Hello Fishy, welcome to the stream. Hope everyone enjoys it. Right, there we go. We can connect to Vatsim now. Just make sure I've got my flight plan loaded in. There we go. Two quite short flights today, about 45 minutes each way. I've got some lovely scenery here in Helsinki. Nice free scenery. All accurate, all lovely. We've got some nice scenery down in Mariehamn as well. Nice custom terminal buildings, even moving flagpoles. It's that good, so I can't wait for any of that. Should all be really good fun. But anyway, I'm trying to add an approach to my... There we go. I'm trying to add an approach to my Navigraph charts. It wasn't accepting it, but it has now. Perfect. Everything's all good to go then. We can just go ahead and jump inside.
Bank angle.
What on earth? Okay, this plane's just shouting warnings at us as soon as we spawn in. Lovely. Right, first of all, we need to actually power on our FMCs. Yep, there we go. We'll let them power on. Everything should be good. I don't know why the terrain radar's turned on. Can I turn that off without actually... I should be able to turn that on, actually. It should be somewhere around here. The weather radar and all that. There we go. That got rid of it. This thing's just basically setting up, making sure it's all working. We'll just hide the yoke for now. We can accept that because we've got the latest air-rack on board. It's all working, which is good. And this can just go to... Well, where do you do the doors from in this thing? There's definitely a place where you do... Here you go, services. We'll request a GPU. I'm not sure how we're getting power right now if there's no GPU, but... we must be getting power somehow to the aircraft, like magically, I guess. I don't know. But external power is turned on, so we're already on it. Perfect. Seatbelts and no smoking signs can come on. Make sure everyone's sat down back there, and we'll get on with We'll get on with everything. So we can go ahead and open the doors. I want to get the weight sorted now. We have to open it one door at a time, unfortunately, but never mind. I haven't flown this plane for a little bit now, so I have to get used to it again. You know, it has been, what, a good month at least? So, there's no ATC online right now, so we can just leave that. We've got some boarding music playing in the background, very nice boarding music. Obviously, in this plane, you do all the loads inside the majestic Q400 control panel. So, today we're taking 41 passengers. Yes, 41 passengers. So, we'll try and even out the load if we can. And then 18, there we go. 41 passengers. And fuel, we're taking 2234. And we want to take, on the bags, we're taking, what's our zero fuel weight today? 22 is our zero fuel weight. However, this isn't telling us that. According to Fly UK, we're meant to have 36 pieces of baggage. So I guess we'll put 16 in the front. Calculate that. Okay, we're not happy with. It's not happy with us. It's red, which isn't good. So what if I stick some more? It's really not happy with us here. Okay, what if I stick some more? Stick some more people in the back. Why is it so not happy with us? How do I get it to fix? It's not happy with us. What if I put 0? Okay, so it's something to do with the fuel. No, something to do with the cargo, I think. I don't know, it's just blaring red numbers at us no matter what I do. So it doesn't seem overly happy with me. What if I truck some people in the front? So 18 and then give them 6 up front. Boom! There we go. We just need to even out the load. We'll put all the bags, we'll even them out. So 20. Oh dear, I can't do maths. 18 and 18. Is that going to fix it? Boom. No red. Okay, we just need to make sure there's a few people in the front. So we'll send, you can see there it's well within our takeoff mass and everything is all well within our safe sort of limits. So we'll go ahead and send data to flights and that pauses the game while it loads it and then we unpause it ourselves. And we can get the GSX loaded now. We just need to turn on our parking brakes first. There we go. And request boarding for the 41 packs on board today. We may as well use Finnair. Also, anyone watching, make sure to vote in the straw poll. I wasn't able to pin a chat message. I couldn't find out how, and the internet was no help. But apparently, you know, I've just put it in the chat, and there's the links there. So hopefully, that's regarding the Football Manager series starting tomorrow. So the boarding's going to start getting done now. Okay, there was that weird bug where it didn't open the right door. It does sometimes do that. Anyway, flight plan. We're on the ground in Echo, Foxtrot, Hotel Kilo, E, F, H, K. Honestly, this thing has a totally different keyboard layout to all the other planes I fly. Instead of like a typical keyboard, it's A to Z, but it's how it's laid out, I think. Confuses me. E8, and there's no text, there's no like typing at all. Then we're heading to actually no, let's put in the arrival first. So you go flight plan, I believe, and then menu. There you go, departure. At the moment we're going to use 22 right. I believe we were planning 22 left, but 22 left doesn't have a link to a Devo, which is our initial departure fix out today. I would like to use 22 left. 22 left is the better runway because it's less of a taxi, but it didn't appear we could. I'll try runway 22 left, but I don't think that has a SID to a Devo. No, it doesn't. I could also use runway 33. That's a pretty long runway, so we'll try runway 33. But the winds don't really suit it. The winds are definitely suiting a 22, so we're going to have to just do the long taxi today. It's going to be a 22 right to the Devo. So 22 right, number 5. It's going to be a bit of a long taxi for us, but unfortunately that's the only runway we can use on this SID. To the Devo 3 November, so number 1. And execute that from a Devo. This wants me to exit the back door. There we go. Knowing this, it'll just do something silly. No, it didn't. From a Devo, This is our route, this is. So from a Devo, we want to click, I want to go after a Devo. List, airway, Y365, and we're taking that to Pogok, so number 2. And then from Pogok, we're going direct to Ebibu. By the way, Finland does actually have very few airways, which is the reason for maybe the slightly odd route. Direct to Ebibu, apparently, yeah, according to like Helsinki Night's briefing, they got rid of a lot of the airways in Finland. And then from Ebibu, we're jumping on our arrival. That reminds me, actually, before I put in any of that, I need to put in our arrival airport, which is EF. Where are you? EFMA. Mariehamn. Execute that, and then we want to go to menu, arrive. We're going to be doing runway 21 today, I think. Looking at the winds. Let's have a look. That's what we were planning. I'll have a look now. We were planning 330 at 11 the winds. So that's 12 away from a 21. Meaning it is overall closest to a runway 21 compared to a 03. Oh, that might be closer to a 03. It is. It's only 60 away from a 03. Okay, forget that then. We'll take the Ebibu to Bravo. It'll have to be an RNAV. We have to take an RNAV. We can't do an ILS. Unlike the other runway. I will just look at the airport briefing just to make sure there isn't a preferred runway. Because some airports do have preferred runways. There's actually no airport briefing, believe it or not. So, it doesn't really matter, I don't think. This airport doesn't have charts either. They're not loading at least. The SID charts don't exist. Interesting. Yeah, they only have an ILS on runway 21. But we could just... Actually, 03 puts us closer to the terminal. We won't have to backtrack if we land on 03. So I'm happy with 03. We'll take the Abeb to Bravo. We shouldn't need a transition. And we're going to use RNAV runway 03, so number 2. With the Vasset transition, number 3. Boom. Flight plan, and then we'll run through here. We should have a no link. Okay, it's duplicated the waypoint at Ebibu. So then we'll do that, and then get rid of that no link, and that's it, I believe. Because this is the... Yeah, this is the go-around track, which needs to be... we'll delete this one, but you need to have a no link between the runway and the go-around path, otherwise it thinks it's all one route, which we don't like. I believe GSX probably has already finished. I always take a bit longer to set up this plane, and obviously it doesn't take very long to load either, this plane, it being so small. So, without further ado, let's go ahead and get our fuel plugged in and all that. So, packs, we're taking 41 on the packs. Cargo, I accidentally just opened self-loading cargo. RIP. I haven't used self-loading. It still hasn't had that update. The developer said... I contacted the developer when I found the bugs, and he said, right, it's coming tomorrow. That was about 2.5 weeks ago. It's unbelievable. Bags, we're taking 612 on the cargo. And fuel 2234. That should get all our little weights plugged in there. No VNAV plan for now. We'll plan our descent using VNAV later. But that's not until late. That's later. FMS 1 on the nav source and nav 1 on the nav source on the other side. That's what I like. We'll do altitude and altitude select. I don't believe there is a... Well, where is the Devo SID? I'm trying to find the Devo SID so I can look at the charts. 3 November. There it is. There's no altitude restrictions, so we can go right up to our cruising altitude today, which is 20,000. And it can go into nav mode on the other side. That's how I like it. And TCAS we can plug 2200 on there, which is just standard IFR. And there we go. Everything's all working fine now. I'll start recording on Skytrack and we can get underway. So, APU power, APU start, and that means that's all ready to go. The bleeds, we'll turn them on after the engine start, I think. Pitot statics and all that need to come on. We can get our beacon light on now as well, and we can get ready for pushback. So, we're going to be pushing back to the left today. It's going to be a rather long taxi, all the way down Yankee, and then down a little bit further. We'll just tune Unicom 122.8. No ATC today at the moment. It's not looking like we're going to have any ATC, unfortunately. Nothing heading for Helsinki, so no need to say anything on the Unicom. We can shut all the doors now as well. And once I've done that, I can cross-fill everything. Oh, this is the bit I don't like. Which FMC do I cross-fill? I think you cross-fill this one. Please say I got it right. I should have done it with the fuel first. No! I cross-filled the wrong one. Oh, I hate this plane so much. I always cross-fill the wrong one. This means I have to put in my flight plan again. EF, where's F? Why is there no text to speak? This is why I hate this plane. Honestly. This is one of those reasons. It's like one of those little things. Oh, it's so annoying. Like, EF, H, K. It means I need to put in my route again. I can never find anything on here. Right, there we go. And luckily, I didn't do the fuel. So I should have done the fuel first, really. But it means I don't have to do it for both, luckily. I just hate it. Right, departure. 22 right, number 5. I wish it wouldn't just delete it as well. Number 1. It's so dumb that the two FMCs aren't even linked. That's the bit that annoys me the most. Like, why are they not linked? The two FMCs. It's so dumb. Right, I'm getting our route plugged in now. I believe this is the correct route. Yeah. Right, to EFMA. Oh, boarding's only just been complete now. Oh, I thought boarding had already been completed. Oh, there we go. We were still waiting then. EFMA. It didn't cost us that much time then. And arrival, runway 03. Bibu 2 Bravo. No transition.
Hello, we are ready
RNAV, runway 03, with the VASIT transition. Flight plan, execute that. Delete the no link. And delete the extra at Bibu. And we can delete this no link as well. And we can delete that no link. The other no link stays there. And that's it. Now, that should be our flight planned. And I'll make sure this time I cross-fill it from the other one. APU gen and APU bleed can come on now, and we should be able to start the engines pretty soon. Once GSX decides to get over here, we can cancel request for the GPU now, and we can go return. There we go. We want to push back to the left today. We'll just wait for the GPU to remove, and we can cross-fill our flight plan, this time on the correct side of things. We'll set flaps 5 as well. And we'll cross-fill the fuel too. Release parking brakes.
Commencing push. All
Engine 1. Start. And this needs to go into start and feather. Right, engines are going to start coming up now. And this can go into normal, which is introducing fuel. What am I doing wrong? I'm definitely doing something wrong here, because the N1 percentage isn't going up anymore. Do I have to select start again? I've done something wrong here, but I can't work it out what it is. Do the bleeds need to be on? There's something I've done wrong here, but I can't work it out. Does boot air need to be in ISO? I've definitely done something wrong here, but I'm trying to work out what.
Set parking brakes. Waiting your confirmation for good engine start.
Will I turn off the AC gens? Nope, that did nothing. What errors am I getting here? Seriously, what have I done wrong? There we go. Okay, now I've just randomly selected normal, and it's randomly decided, even though that's what I did the first time, it's randomly decided that it's okay now. I'll have to tell GSX, because GSX doesn't even register that the engines have started on this thing, so I'll let them get on with it, and that won't waste any time then. Yeah, I don't know what happened there. Right, engine 2. Start. If for some reason the engine just decided not to start then, because I didn't actually change anything, weirdly. I really honestly did not change anything. I even flicked it into normal. You guys saw me flick it into normal, so that's quite odd, really.
Unlocking gear.
We can watch the other engine start up now. That was quite weird. I don't know.
Tow truck disconnected.
Honestly, I don't really have any words for the Majestic Dash 8. It's not that I don't like the Majestic Dash 8, I'm just not a massive fan of the plane. Your damper can come on. Everything should be all ready to go. Q&H here is, I should have said that. Q&H in EFHK is 1007.
Left is clear, right is clear.
There we go, 1007. And we want to set weather radar on, and we want to set TCAS on, and all of that should then be done. I believe this thing is scanning for weather, but not doing a very good job of it. It's just doing that same bug that it always does. I think it's doing a test maybe, but yeah. It just randomly scans everything that's white. No, not as blue. Everything is blue for some reason. I don't know what that even means. It's not under. It should just be working. It's not in test mode, but it's choosing not to work, I guess. The weather radar.
Ladies and gentlemen, may we have your attention to the international safety regulations. This aircraft has 6 emergency exits. 2 exits are located in front, 2 at the wings, and 2 at the
I want it in weather mode. WX on. There we go. There we go. That's better. I just pressed the wrong button, I think. Anyway, right. We're actually 24 minutes into the stream, so we're not late, which is good news. Right, away we go. My throttles aren't choosing to. Oh, that's because I'm again being silly. We need to go max power for taxi. And remember, I'm going to use the mouse yoke as. Okay, the plane's just taking a little bit to start up, that's why. There we go, it's got the hang of it now, it was just being a bit odd. We've started taxiing now, I can't really see anything out the window because, you know, that's how it always does it. We just want to do an anti-skid test quick. It's one thing I always forget, actually. There we go. Now if we look, all the generators and things are on. APU can come off now, actually. And everything's working up there. It's not cold outside or raining, so we don't need any sort of. We don't need any. We don't need, what do you call it? We don't need any anti-ice. So we're just taxiing down now. This lovely Helsinki scenery. I've got to say, I don't often fly this plane. There's quite a few reasons why I don't often fly it. But you know, I think it is always a little bit fun to fly. I don't really like flying it. I wouldn't fly it to an event ever. One, because I'm not really capable enough. I'm not really like that familiar with it, and also just because I don't get on with it that well. I definitely don't get on with it as well as a lot of the other planes I have. Because it is a bit more of a complicated plane, and it's just like, you know, I found out, I mean, there's definitely quite a few bugs with it. You can't ignore that. The texture bug being one of the main ones, and the fact that you do need rudder pedals to pilot it properly. But yeah, I absolutely love this Helsinki scenery. I've got to say, it's really nice scenery. We're going to taxi straight down Delta, which is this one here, and that's going to take us hopefully straight to runway 22 right. The range, I want to go down to 10 knots. So I can, no, not 10 knots, 10 miles, so I can see everything. Nothing's approaching Helsinki, so nothing to report. No ATC, sadly, it doesn't look like. So you can see this is 22 left. I would rather taxi from 22 left, but for whatever reason, we have to taxi all the way down there because, you know, the SID we're using for some reason doesn't have a version from 22 left. I got no clue why, but yeah, for some reason the SID that we're using doesn't support runway 22 left. We've got no star charts for our arrival because for whatever reason they're just blank. We're going to use an RNAV approach. We are. And I'll get the airport chart set up as well, because if for some reason the star chart is there but it's just blank. Whoa, I forgot I said this thing's really sensitive as well when it comes to steering. It's because it has a steering tiller and it's unbelievably sensitive. And we're going to use the mouse yoke then. We're going to use the mouse yoke to control the rudder, should we need it, which we probably will. Yeah, this thing, it does get blown around a lot because it's so small. Again, another reason why I'm not a massive fan of it. We're actually going to set IAS altitude hold. We're going to look for a climb speed of 220 knots maybe. There's actually a max of 250, so we'll set 220. I'm at 230, that's what I normally like setting. You know, the 250 knot speed restriction is not an issue ever to the Dash 8 because of how it works. We don't need the bleeds to be turned on, but we do need the AC to be turned on. Right, taxi onto the runway here. On my, I was on the SID chart and it looked like we were really close to the runway, but we're actually not. It must be because the SID chart zoomed out. Interesting. I don't know whether to keep the bleeds on the whole flight or whether to not keep them on the whole flight. Because there's something that causes a pressure bar, like a pressure to go from the aircraft. I think that might only be keeping that recirc fan on, recirculation. I think it's just the recirc on. If we find out the cabin altitude isn't rising, I can just do it myself. I can just change it myself, so that's what I'll do. Taxiing down Delta, I've got no V-speeds or anything plugged in. Runway heading is 218. Yeah, the problem is I don't actually have... wait, 218. I don't actually have a V-speed calculator for this thing. And the V-speed calculator that is around is not particularly accurate. At least it doesn't appear to be particularly accurate, so I don't use it. Again, another reason why, you know, this plane is just a bit more manual. I mean, one of my favourite things about this plane, though, it runs great FPS. The FPS this thing runs is unbelievable. The clock on this thing's automatic. As soon as we go airborne, it just starts itself, so there's no need for us to start the clock. Right, taxiing onto the runway 22 right, we're just going to do a rolling takeoff here. We can turn on the landing lights, turn off the taxi lights, and everything should all be ready to go up there. I love this, honestly, I love this scenery, it's really nice. And in the air we go, full power for takeoff. 90% on the thrust, and mouse yoke to actually get control of this thing. Because this thing, you can't get in a straight line otherwise. There's 100 knots. We'll rotate the plane there, and we can get rid of the mouse yoke. Press 5 on the keyboard to stabilise the controls. Right, gears going up. Yeah, I don't know. I need to get rudder pedals for this thing, really, to properly fly it. And we'll let it gain some speed now. It's it's a pretty decent thing to fly. Very sensitive, but good fun to fly. We're in the air, and straight away I'm going to enable autopilot and get this thing to take control of its own power. We can go flaps up immediately, really, and power. They go. So now, because we've set IAS altitude, this thing will just follow this automatically. What it'll do, it'll climb with what it feels appropriate according to the speed I've told it to set. Because obviously there's no set VNAV path in this thing. There will be a VNAV path for the descent, but I have to wait until we're at cruise altitude before I can program that. Transition altitude is 5,000, so we'll enable that once we get, we'll go back to standard pressure once we get to 5,000. There we go, we're in the air. We'll wait to go up to full power, like full speed, and then I'll dial it back to 900 RPMs. I can get this on the fuel page now. There we go. That'll tell me how long we have left, so it's quite useful. I'll keep the. Actually, no, I don't want it hitting. We'll have it off. That's better. Have it turned on. And there you go. This thing's now done a pretty good climb. We'll set this down to 220 knots now to allow it to continue its pretty strong climb. And I'll just give it full power now, as much as it wants. That's our max power at the moment, it seems. There we go. There's 220 knots, and there's 5,000 as well. So we'll go. Oh, I need to actually. There's hydro yoke, so I can do standard pressure. There we go. And also, I think from experience, no, actually, it seems as if the altitude's okay now. I'm positive last time I flew this plane, the altitude didn't link with my overlay properly. Because what it is, it's apparently there's a bug with self-loading cargo as well. Apparently, self-loading cargo doesn't work with the Dash 8, people were saying on the forums, because apparently they use an external flight model, which is probably the reason that. So basically, the flight sim, it doesn't have much to do with the flight model of the plane, which is probably why my overlay often gets the altitude we're at wrong in this plane. It's slowly wrong by about 100, 200 feet though, so it's not the end of the world. Right, we're level at 220 knots now, so I'll go back to 900 RPM now. Save ourselves a little bit of fuel and keep climbing up to 20,000. Obviously this thing is quite a slow little climber, so and it's just straight out to a Devo really. There's no proper restrictions at all. And then obviously there's no restrictions on the star, I don't believe, or if there are, I'm not able to see them. No, there aren't. Because for some weird reason, the star charts at this airport are just blank white pages. I have no idea why. It's obviously a bug with Navigraph. But for whatever reason, the charts. What if I try to get it to overlay? I can get it to overlay. No. Yeah, there's obviously a slight bug in the charts. It's only a 6,200 foot runway at Mariehamn, so not a very long runway. There's 10,000. Off go the landing lights. That's the wrong sign. There we go. Off go the seatbelt signs. Let everyone walk around freely and safely now. And we'll try and maintain 220 knots on the climb for as long as I can, normally until about 15,000 feet, and then I have to start throttling it back a little bit to help maintain a decent climb speed. Winds are still 3,308 knots down there, nice and sunny actually, so not too bad weather. But at the moment we're still doing a nice steady 2,400 feet per minute, so I can just maintain this for now at 220 knots. Because what it is, obviously as you get higher in this plane, the power output of the engines gets a lot lower. We're only cruising at 20,000 today, it's not the longest of flights, so we should be alright. And then obviously once we get to cruise, I can plug in our VNAV path. Minimums down in Mariehamn depend on our category of aircraft. Now I can view this by looking at the remarks section of our flight plan. We are a Cat C aircraft according to our remarks on SimBrief. So that makes our decision height on this plane. This plane uses this plane uses radio altitude, so 333 It does use MDA, but I don't really know what that is exactly. I think it probably is just decision altitude, but I don't know what the extra M is for, so I just like to set radio altitude like it is default. So 333 is the decision height, which is radio altitude, 333 feet above sea level, that is. We're still managing 2,000 feet per minute right now, so I'll hold that. We head in at Vasset, above 1,900 feet, and then we join Naril, and then we're just straight on the arrival. I can actually delete this extra Naril that we don't need. Plane always does this. Cool, there we go, all ready to go. Everything should all be good now on our route. It's a very simple route today, not many airways or anything like that. We're looking for a cruise speed of about 200 and... actually, it should say it on sim brief. We're looking for a true airspeed of 314. I'll throttle it back to 215 knots now, just allow this thing to continue climbing at 2,000 feet per minute. We shouldn't get it. If there's a pressure warning, I'll make sure. But by the looks of it, you can see there, the cabin pressure is increasing, so we didn't need the engine bleeds to be on, which means I did it correctly. All good, all happy. For anyone watching, please do vote on the straw polls. I chatted them at 10 past 12 before the start of the stream. It should appear at the top. 3 comments from me. If they're not there, then I'll post them again. But it would be nice if I can get some of you guys involved in the straw polls, so I know what to do for Friday afternoon's Motorsport Manager series with the. By the way, I'm using the Fire Fantasy mod 2020 now. I discovered they released a new version for 2020, so I got that installed because it's quite nice to have the latest version. And we'll bring up the Dash 8 calculator now, because it is actually pretty good on landing. I don't believe you can program in landing speeds. I think you can only plug in. I believe you can only plug in V1 and V2. Like just these bugs, look. But yeah, there is a nice little Dash 8 performance calculator. And that's just messed up my... Okay, that site led to something like one of those dodgy adverts that just says, you're the 5 billionth search, you've won a prize. Yeah, right. I'm definitely going to believe that. Almost certainly going to believe that, aren't I? Totally isn't just fake. Okay, so the performance calculator I used to use then appears to have gone down, unfortunately. Oh, never mind. It just didn't work the first time. Okay. Our landing weight. Is this going to tell us our landing weight? No. It might be on the next page. Gross weight. Here you go. Landing weight. 23.7. So 24,000 kilos. We'll try flaps 15. Flaps 15 gets us better speed. So we'll use a flaps 15 arrival today. That gets us a pretty decent approach speed. Of 117 on the approach speed and 107 on the landing speed. And also we are now safely at 20,000 feet, which is pretty nice. That's pretty good. Right, and now we're at 20,000 feet. I will sort out the descent for us, so we can get a top of descent marker appearing. What was that little dun 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 sound? That's normally like a mess. What on earth? Cabin pressure. Oh, okay. So I do need to keep these turned on, obviously, then. Otherwise, cabin pressure wouldn't be an issue. There we go. You can see now I've turned them on. Cabin pressure has realised it's too high, and it's starting to decrease, and the warning has gone away. So that's what happened there then. I'll throttle back now to maintain a nice sort of 500 fuel flow. About 500 on the fuel flow is normally a pretty standard number for this plane. About 480, 470, something like that. There you go, that's fine, and this thing's working okay. So VNAV, and we're going to do a VNAV path to Naril. No, to Vasset. Do we really need to be under 1900? Is that what that says? It just says 1900. It doesn't say below or above, but I'll stick with what this has got. So by Vasset, so number 4, and execute that. And this should plan. They go top of descent is going to be in 68 miles. If we zoom out, we should see it actually. There it is, top of descent. So that means our descent is all good. We're here, so we're going to be up here at cruise now for about, that said 14 minutes. It's very interesting, some weather up there, but I don't see any weather. So yeah, we'll keep the bleeds on from now on then, it appears. This is recommending we set 74. Is that just that's just maximum power? Okay, that's okay. I'm just helping it gain speed. So right now we're doing 310 knots true airspeed. We're meant to be doing 314. Obviously, SimBrief's not exact, so that's all fine. I'd like to maintain about 460 on the fuel flow, somewhere around there. That's what I like. So when we go to VNAV, we should be able to see, there you go, 13 minutes until descent. And we're going to descend at 18,000 feet per minute. No, 1,800 feet per minute. 18,000 feet per minute would be an absolute mess. I'm just going to have a look at the straw polls a minute, see if anyone's voted on them. Oh, yes, nice. We've had 3 votes, which is lovely. Great, lovely. And obviously one of those was me, but nice. Thank you to everyone who has voted on those straw polls. I will reveal, obviously, the final results a little bit later on. Actually, I'm going to bookmark my straw polls because I keep losing them. So I'll just I'll bookmark them, make sure I can see the results later on. Perfect. Nice, thank you guys to everyone who's voting on them. Obviously, greatly appreciated. Yeah, everything's looking good. We've got plenty of fuel upon landing, where we're going to be expecting. I'm expecting to have. We've actually got 2 hours of fuel on board right now, so that's fine. Flight time is mainly 45 minutes today. Don't know what it'll end up being. Wind is still 330 down there. We're flying to Mariehamn and we're doing the return as well, which should be good, hopefully. But yeah, we are going to be flying the return. The stream shouldn't be too long. It should be about 2.5 hours, which is pretty average, hopefully. And yeah, now we're at cruise. We can just sort of have a look around, make sure everything, make sure all the lights and everything are all turned on and everything's all looking okay. No warnings, nothing like that. Should have a look outside this lovely. I do love this livery actually. I missed it. I was sad when Fly UK moved their 737-700 from Nordic over to Aurora in Canada, because I don't do any flying around the US because of the timings of day. Sadly, so it's a bit of a shame when they did that, because I can't fly the 700 anymore. But because I would love to fly in the US, but the reason I don't is simply, I mean, look at the US right now on Vatsim. Literally one controller, one center controller in the whole of the US. Like, it's just, I'm never ever going to get ATC in the US. It just doesn't happen, because obviously the times of day I stream. The US doesn't start hotting up until about 7 or 8 PM my time. That's when it starts getting busy, because that's the afternoon for Americans, which is when they all start coming online. There you go, descent is in 48 miles, so still 10 minutes actually. And that's to be at Vasset at 1900 feet. So I'll set 1900 feet in there, and I'll select altitude, select, and then we can select vertical speed. We can also actually get it to follow a VNAV path. I can do that as well, so maybe I'll do that. We've got our approach speeds in. We can set the heading round to what we want it to be, which is our current heading. There's not really any wind up here. Apparently there is a little bit of weather that this thing's been reading for ages now, but I don't really see anything. There's no planes in the area. Have a look at the cabin inside. There's only 41 packs on board. The flight back, I think we've got about 73 or 71. It's a lot more full on the way back. Can't wait to show you this Mariehamn scenery. It's really nice. It's a very nice, simple airport, Mariehamn. It's teeny, absolutely teeny. Just a 6,200 foot runway. There's no auto brakes on this thing, are there? I don't think there are auto brakes. Well, I don't see any auto brakes. I think the spoilers are automatic. But we'll have to try and slow it down best we can. We're managing a pretty perfect true airspeed of 313. We were planning 314 according to SimBrief, so sounds absolutely perfecto. But yeah, I do love this little plane. It's not my favourite plane, but once I get back in it for the first time in over a month and I actually fly it, I think, yeah, this is a good plane. You know, like, it just takes a little bit of time to get back used to. If I flew this plane every week, if I flew it full time, I'd probably learn it a lot better. But obviously, because all the other planes I fly, like say the 777, the 737, the 787, the A320, they all have very similar procedures for operation. This thing's totally different. Some of the things you have to turn on and off, they are very different. And just basic things like the FMC are very, very different. Also, for anyone watching, please, the top 3 messages that I've posted are about the Motorsport Manager series that's going live tomorrow afternoon. Please click on the straw poll links and just vote on both of them. So I want to try and get you guys involved with this Motorsport Manager series. What sort of series do you want me to be racing in, basically? It looks like we've got a bit of orange weather up ahead. It's weird because I can't see any clouds. However, it seems to be that sort of weird weather that sort of just never happens. It just keeps going pushed back more and more. But yeah, so far we've already had 3 votes on those straw polls, which is pretty nice. And I'll obviously reveal the votes tomorrow when we start the stream. So I can't wait for that. Should be pretty good. But yeah, this weather just doesn't really seem to be moving ever, does it? Like, it's just staying in one place, look. We have got a little bit of red weather appearing there. It's weird, though, because normally to get that sort of weather, you'd have to have a lot of clouds and things. Right now, there's nothing. We're descending at Pogog, which is in about 32 miles, which is still going to take us quite a while to cover. It's a slow plane. This plane, it is very slow, so we can forgive that. We'll be descending at a very nice 1,800 feet per minute. Hopefully throughout the descent, that's the plan. Providing this plane actually follows what it's meant to. I don't believe there's any frequencies we need to plug in for an RNAV. I will just check the charts now. No, it doesn't say anywhere about anything we need to plug in to the plane. Obviously, RNAV is basically just this. It's just this pink line we're following right now. This is an RNAV. So we'll basically be following. Apparently, there is like a glide slope at Nolvu, where we need to be above 1,700. Yeah. We're descending to Vatsim. Actually, is this going to push back? If I tell it I want to be at Naril, I want to be at Naril actually. Because I didn't realise. I looked at the restrictions wrong. There's a slight bug. Look, it says below there. Look, but then when you type it in, it says above. Actually, it's still basically in the right place, the top of the descent. It's still in the same place. Just at Naril instead. I want it to be at Naril instead. I'm also going to delete this waypoint because I don't like having them there. I just like seeing my arrival and nothing else. But I'll have a little look at our arrival just to make sure nothing unusual is going on with it. You click format, I believe. Yes. and then we have to view it page by page in this plane. There we go. So we head in from Abibu to Vasset, and then we just join our arrival. Nice and simple kind of thing there, which is great. Just change the format back. We can go back to 40 nautical mile range. Perfect. The weather's still in the same place. It just keeps being pushed back all the time, so I don't know what's going on there. We'll just view the straw polls quickly. See if anyone else has voted on them. Still only 3. We have actually got a definitive answer on one of them, so that should be pretty good. Obviously, you know, the more votes we get, the better, really. So everyone gets a vote in. But apparently there is a glide path that we have to follow, but there's no frequency to tune. There is an RNAV. But there is one under EGNOS, it says, like, and a bunch of numbers, but you can't enter that in anywhere, can you? There's no high... There's a few ski lifts. Oh, no, not ski lifts, sorry. Telephone towers that are a little bit high. You know, most important, there's one that's actually 430 feet right on the... Right, oh, wait, I'm reading it wrong. Never mind, forget that. That's after departure, that would be. There's no telephone towers on arrival for us then. We're going to be descending in probably, what's that, like 16 to 18 miles? 17 miles, yeah, perfect. So 17 miles until our descent down. And how long have we got to go? This is saying 17 minutes elapsed. And no, elapsed 22 minutes. We've got 17 minutes to run. 17 minutes left apparently. So we're past halfway. It's nuts, honestly. They're not long flights, these. And obviously we haven't got very long to descend either, because we're descending from what is quite a low altitude. So it's okay. We're going to do a flaps 15 arrival. Remember, we've got our landing speeds all plugged in. So remember, I did always used to do a flaps 35 arrival. But when this plane goes below like 115 knots, it starts trying to drop out of the sky and being a bit of a pain to handle, which results in very rough landings. If possible, I'd like to basically... Any landing that doesn't burst a tyre in this plane is a successful landing. In reality, I'm not very good at landing this plane, and I don't have rudder pedals to help me control it on the ground either, so it's the best I can do with what I've got, with the equipment I've got. But slowly I have learned how to fly this plane a bit better. We've got a massive, like a 25 knot headwind we've had the whole way, so hopefully that'll clear up on our way back. We should have a tailwind, hopefully. It'd be nice if we could have a tailwind on the way back, wouldn't it? But who knows? QNH down in Mariehamn is 1009er. I don't actually know what the transition altitude is. It doesn't say it on any of the charts. It was 5,000 in... Oh, it does say it, 5,000. It must be 5,000 in the whole of Finland then, which is where we are right now. But we're looking pretty good at the moment. Approaching Pogok, and then literally pretty much immediately after that you can actually see our VNAV has appeared on there. When our VNAV appears on there, that means I think we're within 2,000 feet maybe. Yeah, you can see our VNAV path is actually active right now. So because it always starts a bit early, and then it should start to come down because we're just 5 miles away, you know. However, it's actually going up, so I don't know how that works. Minus 1700. What's that number? Who knows then? Who knows? But yeah, we're going to start our descent very shortly. Apparently, yeah, this weather that has just not moved. I don't know whether the weather radar's a bit broken. Maybe. What if we're on weather alert mode? I don't think that changes anything. I'd like it on weather mode, but yeah, there's literally nothing It's just saying the same thing all the time, right? Top of descent, we should get a message from our FMC. It should appear, a little thing flashing in the corner saying message. I think we should have hit it by now, shouldn't we? Yep, there we go. It's 400 feet away, so we want to click VNAV. And this thing should just intercept our VNAV path. There it is. And straight away, we want to go down to minimum power. Apparently we've got ice detected, so we'll fire up the anti-ice to fast. And it should just do it automatically, yeah? I don't know how ice is detected. I'm actually questioning that, because we haven't flown through any ice. We'll idle the power now, because we've gained a little bit of speed. But yeah, I don't know how we've got ice, if we haven't flown through any clouds. Can anyone explain that? Like, how it's possible? We'll go down to 20 nautical mile range now, because I can start to see the airport on my page. I don't know how there's ice detected, but somehow there is. I don't know, this plane always seems to tell me there's ice detected, but again, you know, I mean, it's not even... How cold is it outside? It doesn't actually say anywhere on here. It should say somewhere around here, shouldn't it? Or not. Is it not telling me anywhere around here? Oh, there you go. Minus 24. So yeah, it is, but we haven't flown through any clouds. Like, all day we have not flown through any clouds. Or rain, like rainy clouds. There's a few clouds up here, but not today we haven't so far. Obviously, Mariehamn is a small little island, like with a bunch of other little settlements on it as well. Oh, in fact, yeah, I see ice on my window. I'm not sure how, but we can get the pitot heats for the windows turned on, and that takes care of that. You can see our plane is descending pretty nicely right now. I've already descended 3,000 feet. Yeah, I don't know how we've got ice on the windows, or ice anywhere, in fact. We'll keep the anti-ice on until it gets above 5 degrees outside, which is when you typically should turn it off.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is Captain speaking. Some of us in the cruise are over time.
It's that bug again. It's saying that we're at cruise, even though we've already started descending. It always does that. Now, even though I turned on the pitot window heat, it hasn't actually done anything to get rid of ice. So I'm questioning that, but, you know, who knows, I guess. We're following our descent path pretty good right now. Hopefully as it gets warmer, it's already minus 18, so as it gets warmer, we should have less issue with ice. Afternoon. In the chat, hello, hope you're enjoying this stream. And to anyone watching the stream, oh, it has started raining actually. Anyone watching the stream, please, there is actually a link to, there should be a link in the top of the chat, 2 links for some straw poll votes to do with the Motorsport Manager series I'm going to be starting tomorrow, so if anyone would like to contribute to that, then that would be lovely. Yeah, it is actually raining, even though the weather down in Mariehamn says it's clear. In fact, that just refreshed 10 minutes ago. It says it's clear, lovely weather, no clouds. It's actually raining, so that's where the ice came from, I guess. And why we're needing to use anti-ice, but it's a little bit weird. Hopefully, as we descend, because it's in Mariehamn right now, it's 16 degrees. So by the time we actually start landing, it should get warm enough at lower altitude so that there's no more ice. However, right now, obviously, we are descending quite slowly. Give it a little bit more power, actually, because we do descend quite slowly based on the speed we do because of the descent path I've set. Right, normally about 20% should be pretty good on the power. That's good enough. We want to maintain about 220 knots because that's what this thing uses as like a proper descent rate, which at the moment is 1,500 feet per minute. Quite slow. I could do a bit of a faster descent, so maybe next time I will tell it to do like a 2,100, 2,200 feet per minute descent, because to be fair, it's a very slow descent, this. Maybe not needed. We're only 49 miles out though, so not very far to go now. Felt like a bit longer than that, really, that we had left to go. 13,000 feet, we can go ahead and turn on the seatbelt signs. Tell everyone back there to sit down for landing. Ice is still detected because it's still quite cold out there actually. Obviously, unlike other planes where you need to slow down to 250 knots, this thing doesn't go above 250 knots, so we're already covered for that. Obviously, we're descending down to 1900 feet per minute, like 1900 feet, which is the altitude for our nav approach. Because obviously there's no ILS at this airport unless you land on runway 21, which was what we were planning initially, but the winds are not agreeing. We're flying into Mariehamn in Finland. My pronunciation might be a bit rubbish, and then we're flying back to Helsinki later, so literally straight after this flight, because it's only a little 45-minute flight each way, so, you know, nice little short hops in this plane. Yeah, this ice is terrible. Even though I've turned on the pitot heats on the side, they're doing absolutely nothing. Oh, that's because it's not the windows that steamed up, it's the windscreen. I thought that for some reason both of them did the same thing. Yeah, we'll turn on the windshield de-ice, and there we go. I just turned on the wrong thing. We'll keep it turned on actually, just because as soon as I turned it off, it actually went. Somehow we've ended up quite off course from our VNAV path. I'll have a look now. Sometimes the VNAV path can be a little bit buggy on this plane. Yeah, apparently, I think it tried to slow us down for 10,000 feet, even though we didn't need to slow down at all, which is a bit strange. Never mind, it doesn't matter. This weather radar's been weird today. It's just displaying the same thing, saying there's the same weather everywhere, and then that weather doesn't exist. We're passing 10,000, so on go the landing lights. So we're heading to Vasset, and then we head to Naril, and then it's a right turn onto our nav approach today. Luckily, I don't really have to follow any. I shouldn't really need much in the way of instruments to follow this approach anyway, because we've got some very nice weather. No clouds at all, really. In fact, now it's actually only -1 outside, so I can turn off the anti-ice and turn off the window heats and all that. Because it's it's 0 degrees now, so ice can melt, and there's no clouds either, so there shouldn't even be any rain to get onto the wings in the first place. However, the weather radar is still displaying the same rubbish as it was earlier. This plane is just maintaining like 1500 feet per minute, even though, I don't know, this plane doesn't often follow its VNAV path, even if it's meant to. It just doesn't. For some reason, like, even though that's because for some reason it's gone into pitch hold mode. I think it's lost its VNAV path, look. So I've armed it, but yeah, it's lost its RNAV, so all it's doing is just in a pitch hold mode until it catches its VNAV again, which isn't the best idea. You can see there we're not really catching our VNAV path at all, so what I'll do, I'll go into vertical speed, because pitch hold mode doesn't really work. We'll just do like 1200 feet per minute until we can catch back up to our VNAV path. And then after Naril, I'll take control of the descent myself. Obviously, luckily there's no restrictions. I mean, when you have lots of restrictions, generally it's easy to do. Really, only the initial descent, the first level of descent, can be done automatically by the VNAV, and then everything beyond then is better to just do manually. Generally, in this plane, that's generally how it works. We've got no planes approaching Mariehamn or coming out of anywhere, so that's fine. And QNH is 1009er, so we'll get that plugged in at 5,000 feet. Okay, the VNAV is slowly catching back up with me, I think. Which is nice. How far? It can't be very long now. 32 miles. Not far then. It should be just off to the right. We'll see the lovely Mariehamn scenery. Well, lovely for FSX anyway. We've got nice custom terminal buildings. Got some moving flags as well. I found that pretty cool, actually. Obviously, you can't expect much from FSX scenery, honestly, but it's something. Well, we're catching up to our VNAV path slowly, by the looks of it. Obviously, transition altitude's 5,000 feet here. So just waiting. There you go. Once we catch back up with our VNAV path, this thing can start a pretty decent descent level again, hopefully. There you go, it's caught back up with our VNAV path. You can see there, it says there VNAV path. So it's just letting it... We may as well get the QNH plugged in now, actually, because we're going to have to pretend that we've dropped a bit of altitude. I hope everyone watching is enjoying the stream, by the way. Obviously. And there you go, we're pretty good at 1300 feet per minute right now. Oh, it looks very... Why did clouds suddenly just spawn in around us? Can someone explain how clouds just suddenly spawned in there and covered my plane, even though it's meant to be clear? We've just lost our VNAV path again. Never mind. I'm going to ignore that now. I think. I think I just want to. I'll take control of the descent myself now. So we're going to VNAV and then cancel VNAV. Because I'm happy to take control of it myself from here. Got quite a nice level of descent here. Need to be above 1900 feet and then above 1700 feet after that. Because we're still 23 miles out. Actually, no, we're not 23 miles out. That was lying. Which is quite odd, actually, because I didn't delete the no link. And as long as you don't delete the no link, it should just know. I don't know. Unless is this FMC on the wrong waypoint? Maybe. No, it's on the right waypoint. I don't know. That FMC was telling us. I don't know, for some reason our plane is telling us there's 22 miles left. There's actually less than that. But never mind. Right, and we can also go max power now, 1800 RPMs, ready for the arrival. We'll idle the plane, let it slow down a little bit. This can go down to 1700 feet now, and I'll bring back the vertical speed now as a little bit as well.
2500.
And we should be getting ourselves onto an approach course to land. Airport should literally be, well, according to my overlay, 9 miles direct from here, so we can go down to 10 nautical mile range, and you can see there, look. In fact, there is the airport. I can see it. The plane is just getting itself on course. There you go. Now we've levelled out. This thing's going to start slowing down now. Ready for landing. Approach speed is 117 today, apparently. We can go flaps 5. I probably can't go. There you go. I can only go as high as flaps 5 with that, with the gear still up. Otherwise, it'll yell at me. There we go. Right, 1700 feet. I can actually probably just take control of the plane after we pass Nolvu. I'll probably just take control manually. A lot easier. We were planning 45 minutes in the air. Looks like we might be able to take a little bit of time off that. There you go, 5 miles away. I can now take out the autopilot. And we'll drop the gear, and we can start landing this thing. And I'm going to have to get the mouse yoke sorted for the rudder just before landing. And we can go flaps 15 now, which is what we're going to use for landing today. There it is. Let this plane slow down, and we can start. And start slowing down. So there we go, perfect. We have the airport in sight. Just trying to descend properly now. I want to slow down so we can lose enough speed for landing, because this thing can be a little bit hard to like actually drop enough altitude. You need to like push it down quite a bit really to get any sort of altitude loss. Terrain's actually turned on now because it's getting a bit concerned, I think. It's like, oh dear. Right, prepare for what might be a pretty rubbish landing. Haven't landed this thing in a while. Honestly, as I said, as long as we don't puncture the tyres, I don't mind. It's actually, we've also got a 13 knot crosswind, which is not the best for this plane. I'll try and use the rudder to the best of my ability. Well, the best of the ability you can have using a mouse. To make sure this thing stays on the runway after landing. Very short runway here as well, so we want to make sure we successfully land.
Plus 100.
We've managed to speed pretty good. Don't want to go any lower than this now. Continue. You can tell the crosswind's like making the plane sort of go off to one side. Very wide runway. Was that just? I think runways always seem to appear a bit wider in this plane.
50.
This thing doesn't like you idling the power.
20.
By the way, I was actually pushing fully up on the yoke then. That was me pushing fully up on that yoke. And somehow it managed to do that bad of a landing. I don't know how. I was pulling up full on the yoke. And that's what I mean by I always do bad landings in this plane. But I don't really know why. Luckily, my landing wasn't that bad. The tyres are still intact. So I've done this. That means I've done worse in this plane. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what it is. I think I need to approach quicker, but according to that landing calculator, I should have been going slower. So I don't know. We can stop the clock there, actually. For some reason, when you stop the clock, that does actually pause. The plane just randomly pauses. Again, a slight bug, maybe. I don't know. Right, we'll taxi in to the stand now. There's only 3 gates here. So, we should be okay. Hello and welcome to Mariehamn. We'll do our return flight. Sorry passengers for the slightly rough landing, but we got you there. We didn't puncture the tyre, so we're all good. Nothing too bad. You can see the moving flags, look, the custom terminal, it's all really nice. We're going to taxi into stand, well, we can use any of these stands actually. I'm going to take stand 2, I think. Very small airport this. So just 3 gates, all sort of arranged like this together. Very, very small airport. Hope we won't have a texture glitch as well, I'm hoping. That texture glitch that causes things to go a bit weird. That can sometimes happen. We haven't had it so far. But you can see it's a lovely little scenery this, for free scenery. It's really nice. And we're going to go with what GSX. It is actually a GA stand this, so we may end up inside the marshaller because even though this stand isn't technically too small for this plane, it's a little bit small. It's a little bit smaller than usual, so if we do end up inside the marshaller, then that's just a bug with GSX that happens when you try to park a plane somewhere when it's a bit small. Small stand. Right, we'll get ourselves bang on course with the stand here. It's quite nice to see her on the ground, this plane, actually. Right, there we go. We're mostly parked. We're parked good enough. I should have got the APU turned on. We'll do that now. Actually, by the time... No, forget the APU. We'll just go straight onto ground power. We'll just go straight onto ground power. It's easier. So we want to go menu, and then we want to go to... That's the wrong menu. We need to go to data, then services. Request a GPU. Oh, I think the engines need to be off. Oh. In that case, because the engines need to be off to request the GPU, we do need to start the APU. Off go the anti-collision lights. Seatbelt signs can come off, because why not? And we just have to wait for the APU to start before I can do anything, unfortunately. I should have... Even take that, given how short the taxi was, it wouldn't have made any difference. TCAS can go on to standby. And we can also turn off our weather radar. Is the APU started now? It is, which means I can now fire off my engines finally. There we go, fuel off, and we can request a GPU. And we can also request deboarding. This thing's just going to blare warnings at us now for turning off the engines, obviously. What on earth? What's that texture that just appeared then? What? What's that texture that appears if I zoom in too much? What is that? So opening all the doors. And there we go. Everything should all be ready now. It shouldn't take too long for the bus to arrive because it's such a small little airport. We flew 168 miles there. We're going to do the flight back now. And there we go. Obviously, this is all static planes. They're not real people. It's all just static, not AI even. Just totally static. And there's the texture issue. It does actually fix itself after a while, so we'll just hope that happens. It will fix itself. Give it like 10 minutes. I mean, when it happened to us in Oslo, by the time we departed again, it fixed. So we'll just have to hope that happens again. Off goes the APU now because we're on ground power, I believe. Yeah, I don't know what that texture bug is. It does actually. It seems to happen quite often after you park up. That's when it often seems to strike. What's this message we've got here? VNav disconnect. Yeah, I know that. And for some reason the terrain radar's turned on. I'm not interested in that. It always does that when you turn off the weather radar. It just goes straight onto the terrain radar because it wants to display something. Now what we need to do, we need to actually delete the flight plan. Because I don't believe we can just delete it, can we? So we have to literally delete everything. So yeah. Because, I mean, if there's a way you can reset the flight plan, I don't know it. And I'll start planning the next flight now. So, first of all, I do actually need to go into sim brief and set everything up. Because I can only file one sim brief at a time because of how Navigraph charts works. I'm going to move back our departure time 15 minutes as well. I reckon we're going to leave earlier than that. We are a little bit early today. Routes should be all good. We're going to depart from a Bebu. There's no SIDS out of here today, is there? I'll check the charts now, but I don't think there are any SIDS. Nope, no SIDS at all out of Mariehamn. Looking at the weather, it's going to be a runway 03 again.
Thank you very much, goodbye.
Goodbye.
So that's our route then, all good. So that's good. 175 miles we're meant to be flying this next flight. Everything's all in there, so I'm just going to go ahead and generate that flight. Looks like they've actually already finished. That was pretty quick. GSX, yeah, GSX do seem to work with this plane pretty quickly. Maybe it's just the low amount of passengers it carries. Right, disconnect from Vatsim now. Flight time's only going to be 39 minutes apparently. Cruising at flight level 170 on the way back, so a little bit lower. I'll make sure I can pre-file that now. All good, pre-filed that. And everything should be all good now. We just need to, everything's all looking good there, yeah? I just need to go into Navigraph charts now, and I can reload the flight plan. Hopefully. Sometimes there are some bugs with this, but it has done it correctly today. I'm just going to get the arrivals plugged in correctly for I just want to try and make sure we can do a proper ILS approach. But at the moment it doesn't appear there is a proper one. We're going to use ILS 22 left today. I just want to make sure if there is actually a proper... Doesn't look like there's anything we can do. I don't know what it's like. It's like they want to disencourage you from using. They want to discourage you from using that runway 22 left down in Helsinki because literally nothing seems to go there in terms of approaches. Actually, nothing goes there anyway. It's weird. Right, I want to do an ILS 22 left. And we're going to take the lake at 5 Alpha, apparently. And SimBrief has given me runway 22 left, I thought. Yeah, so I don't know what's going on there with our arrival. There's a bit of weirdness going on. I'll have a look at the charts quickly. Because there's a number of different ones. So you've got 04 left, 04 right, 15, 22 left, 22 right. It's going to be the Laycut 5 Victor. No. It's going to be the 4 Alpha. No, the Laycut 5 Alpha, which we've already got planned. And then after that, after the Laycut 5 Alpha, we head into... It's not really obvious. You head into... Calvi. I'm just sorting all the charts out a minute. And the airport and the ILS 22 left, which starts. Okay, it's looking like it's going to be a direct between the two. I think that's what it's going to be. So EF HK. I think in real life it might have been vectors, possibly. But obviously not the case on without ACC. We can reconnect to Vatsim now. Our call sign is Skyways 5173 for this next flight. We can file that. EF MA Mariehamn. No departure at all, apart from the runway actually. So I'll do that quickly. Departure. This is still wrong. Right, E, F, M, A. Enter runway 03. No SID at all. So we go direct to Bibu. And then from there, it's direct to Ririp. Ririp, and then it's going to be list airway, going to be Y364 as far as Laycut, so number 2, and then to EFHK Helsinki Vantaa, and then we go to menu, arrive, EFHK, runway 22 right, 22 left, sorry, number 4, the Laycut 5 Alpha, number 3, no transition, ILS 22 left, and no transition. What we're going to do, so we're going to head to, vectors in real life it would be. I want to go direct to Bifix. So what I'm going to do, delete all the no links and delete the vector between them, and it should just pan out okay, hopefully. We won't bother deleting any of the no links. What's this message? Current leg extended. It's a different one. Whatever. It's moaning at me about that, I think. Texture bug is still there. Oh well. We'll head to format. Just make sure everything's in here okay. Why is it not working? I hit format and it just did absolutely nothing. Why is this so bugged? Does it not know what our route is or something? I think I need to go direct to EFMA so that it can plug in our route. There we go. I think it got confused because I changed. I didn't. Oh, I don't know. Right, format. Okay, what if I tell it that we're going direct to a Bibu? There you go, it knows what we're doing now. Perfect, and then Carvi to Bivix. That looks all fine then. I'm totally happy with that. Yeah, in real life it would be vectors, but no ATC. So that's the reason for that. Okay, all our route is plugged in fine. So I want to head now to the Majestic control panel. Here it is. Fuel is 2187. 2187. Calculate that. Boom. And we need how many pieces of luggage? 64 apparently. Wow, that's a lot of luggage. 32 in both at the moment. And we're going to go full on here. We want 72 passengers, which might very well be full. No, not quite full. It's almost full, only 4 off full. Calculate all the weights are within the realms of normality, which means we're safe, we're okay, don't worry. Meaning I can start sim brief, meaning I can start, more like sim brief, means I can start this, 72 packs, I can start boarding from GSX, and they can get on with their nice little job there, boarding the passengers. So we'll go to fuel now, and get our new fuel values plugged in, 72. How do I reset flight leg then? That's what I need to find out how to do, is reset the flight leg. 2187, because I think that has confused the plane a little bit. And cargo is 1088. And execute that. It should all be good then. I think our plane's a little bit confused. Is there any way I can reset a flight then? Because it honestly doesn't look like I can. Unless I just turn it off and on again, maybe? Who knows? We'll ignore that. And then we want to cross-fill it as well. I don't know why this is saying restriction at the top. It's been saying it for quite a while now, actually. Cross-fill flight plan. That texture bug is still there. We'll just ignore it. Straight up 17,000. No SID today, so no restriction. Hello in the chat. Hope you are enjoying the stream. There should be 2 straw polls at the top, very top of the chat. If you scroll all the way up, should be two links to some straw polls about the upcoming Motorsport Manager series. If you want to vote on those, it would be greatly appreciated. We'll cross-fill fuel as well, and altitude select, and vertical speed. No, not vertical speed. IAS 230. 225 actually, that's what I like setting. And that should be everything all ready for departure then. In terms of this, we can go at APU fired up now as well actually. Why not, I guess. Everything else can stay on. Stay how it is right now. Don't know what our plane's doing. We're connected to Vatsim, we can start the next flight now as well. And I can get my overlay set up. That's one way I haven't yet done. There we go, perfect. Everything's all set in there then. Just grab the weather quickly. So down in Helsinki, it's definitely runway 23. And we'll just check Mariehamn. QNH is still 1019. That's what I wanted to view. QNH down in Helsinki right now is 1008. We've got a little message on our flight plan. Current leg extended. Yeah, okay. And I'll make sure this knows we're going direct to a Bibu as well, to make its fuel calculations and things correct. Great! Yeah, I don't know, this slight texture bug is occurring. Hopefully it'll just fix itself a bit later on.
Hello.
It should be all good. Like, I stopped the clock. What on earth? Why is the plane rolling forward? Or was that just me? I'm positive the plane was rolling forward then. Yeah, that texture bug, unfortunately, doesn't look like it's going away, does it? But hopefully that'll fix. Passengers are actually boarded. Why can't I view the menu? There it is. Couldn't find it. Wait, baggage is still coming. So I'll shut the doors, but we can leave cargo open. I shut the doors using the key shortcut, so it's actually a lot easier, believe it or not. So yeah, the baggage is on its way. Everything else is actually ready. APU should be fired up, so I can cancel the request. Perfect. We're on APU power now. This can just go back to flight plan now. No, not flight plan, fuel, that's what I like it on. We can just sit outside, I guess, and watch everything as it goes. Or we can also set our V-speeds, actually. So go to takeoff. Our current aircraft weight... What's our weight? Quite heavy, I believe, aren't we? What am I supposed to wait for? I don't know what I'm waiting for, exactly. We should be taking off in about, I don't know, 5-10 minutes maybe? I don't know. 10 probably, at least. Current weight... That's not giving me any help. We'll do this. I'll look at the FMC that way. It should tell us. There you go. Gross weight 28,000 kilos if we round it. So we're pretty full. Flaps 5. Ice protection shouldn't be needed. We're going to be doing... It's 16 degrees outside. Airport elevation was like 3 feet. It's dry. Runway heading was 030. Wind direction was 330 at, like, was it 6 knots or 7 knots? 8 knots, I think. Yeah, we can take one more who's late. You can jump on. We've got space for 4 more passengers, don't worry. 130 is the V1. And the V-rotate is also 130 today. .30 and finally 132 on the V2. There we go. V-speeds are all in then. Perfect. Boarding has now been fully completed, so Shift E and 2 and we can shut the doors fully and get ready for pushback. Is the texture bug still there? Sadly yes, we'll just ignore that. Well, we can't wait forever, sadly. But we have to go now. We've got a schedule to keep. But yeah.
Hello, Captain. We are ready for pushback.
If they're in the airport, we can wait. But if they're not in the airport, no waiting.
Locking gear.
And engines can go to start and feather. I'm going to push back left.
Departure check completed. Bypass pin inserted. Release parking brakes.
I'm sure we can wait. I'm sure we can wait 2 minutes. Actually, right, GSX is going to start getting quite cross with us. We'll just do our final little checks, make sure everything's all working. Make sure no little sort of extended things up there are working. Anti-collision lights can come on. We'll just do a quick check through of our route, making sure it's all good, make sure Navigraph charts is working.
Release parking brakes.
GSX is going to keep moaning at us, but whatever. We can set flaps 5 for takeoff. GSX is just going to keep telling us to remove parking brakes, but whatever.
Release parking brakes.
We're waiting, GSX. Everything's looking good up there. Seatbelt silencing's come on, actually. Get everyone to sit down. Great, right, off we go.
Commencing push.
Sorry about the texture bug,
All
people.
engines clear. Start at wheel.
Weather radar can now come on. And we can start the engines, wherever they are. Here they are. Engine 1 will start first. I need to get the bleed air turned on, actually, to start the engine. There we go, up goes the engine. And you can introduce fuel now. Oh, wait, what? They're already in normal mode, the engines, or whatever. Okay, so they're starting automatically then, I guess. I don't know what that black texture bug's about. It just happens for some strange, weird reason. We're going to be departing from runway 03, so we're going to have to backtrack pretty much the whole way, unfortunately. There you go, we can get engine 2 firing up now. Should start to see it spinning into life. There it is. If we're inside, look, there's like a weird thing, like the pushback engine sort of sound changes. There we go. Engine should be pretty much mostly started now. So there we go. I just heard it go back to normal, so that means I can
Set parking brakes.
set parking brakes.
Waiting your confirmation for good engine start.
Engines are good, but GSX for some reason never ever picks up on it. Engines are fully started now, so we can go. We can whack it up to max power now, ready for departure. We'll just wait for GSX to disconnect, and then we can get on our way.
Unlocking gear. Tow truck.
Everything's looking good. What's this warning? Parking brake, that's okay. Taxi lights can come on now as well. Actually, no point. We'll get the line lights on straight away because there's the runway. We're going to be taxiing straight to it, so there's no point. Right. Bye-bye. Bye-bye, GSX. That tug is literally like the same size as the aircraft almost.
Left is clear.
Silly.
Right is clear.
It's not a big aircraft, this.
Clear to start engines.
We've already started my engines, GSX. Have a good trip. Right, away we go then. Why is this in weather test mode? There we go, weather on. That's better. I didn't want it in weather test mode. It's now scanning for actual weather. Right, so we get a taxi onto the runway. We've got no ATC at the moment, unfortunately, but never mind. Full ATC over the Atlantic right now. There's no events on. It's quite weird. So yeah, after departure we'll just go straight to our first waypoint. Altitude can turn on, TCAS is on, and we'll taxi onto the runway. Nothing approaching, and nothing's approaching Helsinki either, is it? No, there's not another plane. There's not a plane in Helsinki for 3 hours yet, so we're okay. I have some fruit with me now. Have some apple, a bit of orange, some blueberry, some strawberry. I suspect we're going to need the full length of the runway, so we're going to do a backtrack the whole way. We're just taxiing down the runway now. Ready for takeoff. Whenever we're needed. So yeah, it'll be straight out departure, and then which way runway heading? Maybe. So we'll fly runway heading and then make a right turn probably out to a bee-boo. Everything's all ready for departure, so we just need to get ourselves up to the little turnaround point. It's a very wide runway actually, so probably just couldn't turn around the runway honestly, but you know. And there we go, on the runway, we can turn round fully now. Probably could have turned around on the runway itself really, but I'd like to go the full length of the runway anyway. In fact, yeah, we've actually turned around too early. We've actually ended up a little bit off the centre line at first there, so yeah, this thing's pretty quick at turning, to be fair. With its steering tiller and all that, right. Park it up here then. Runway heading 013, really? I don't believe that. If it's a runway 03, that doesn't make any sense. If that's the case. I mean, I honestly don't believe that. How is it runway 03 if that's not the heading? Right, away we go then. Initial power is set. And maximum power for takeoff. Why is this yelling at me? Hello? Why is it yelling at me? This is the sound it does. This is literally the sound it makes when I try to use my steering on takeoff, but I'm not trying to use my steering on takeoff. I try and get back on the runway here. And then, yeah, this is random. And then it just stopped. Is my plane bugged? Why is it making that sound? That's strange. Alright, we're on runway heading here. I'm just going to do it manually, this part. That's weird. Why was our plane beeping at us? We say it all up okay. Right, gear up. I have no idea why our plane was shouting at us then. Right turn after departure now. I honestly have no clue why our plane was just screaming at us then. Autopilot can come in then, we'll let the plane gain its speed. Yeah, I don't know, everything's all good up here, yeah? APU, well, it's because the APU was turned on, that's why. It doesn't like taking off with the APU turned on, I guess. It's got a thing about it, I guess. Getting some nice speed here. Obviously, we're still on the maximum sort of RPMs right now. While we gain speed. Go down to 220 on the climb speed, allow this thing to properly climb. I honestly don't know what that was about, but our plane was just being a little weird. Beeping at us on takeoff for literally no apparent reason, but whatever. We're climbing pretty good out now, look at that. Still trying to gain the speed needed. I'm still only able to maintain 2,000 feet per minute right now, despite using 1,800 RPMs. Weird. So I need to wait. Really, I don't want to like knock out the power until this thing's actually fully reached 220 knots. We can do it now actually. They go 900 RPM. Actually, that encourages it to climb some more. That's quite weird. There we go, 900 RPM. This thing should start climbing pretty quickly at first and then start to slow off a bit later on. Right, there's 5,000 feet. Standard pressure. For some reason that's not happening. There we go. It did eventually happen. And up we go. To 17,000, which is today's final cruising level. This can go to 40 nautical mile range. We've got a bit of turbulence by the looks of it ahead. That's not so nice. Hopefully that'll clear by the time we climb a touch. That's what I hope anyway. And yeah, up we go. Turn off the line lights now, we don't need them. It's all looking good outside, look at that, that's nice. Weather down in Helsinki, 290 at 5 knots, so still perfect for a 2-2 arrival, I think. 2-2 left. Very long runway, go to approach and flaps 15 probably on the takeoff again. I don't know what's our landing weight going to be. I want to try and plug in our speeds now, really, preferably. Landing weight is going to be 26.5, apparently. 26.5, so 27,000 kilos. Calculate 124, 124, apparently. Approach. Yeah, so 124 is our approach speed, apparently. And then, yeah, 114 for landing. There we go. Cool, everything's all ready to go then. Past 10,000 now, so seatbelts can come off as well. We'll let everyone roam around the back of the plane. We're still climbing at a very nice 2,000 feet per minute. We haven't quite started phasing back with power yet. It's still at 91% climb power. Which is, you know, easily enough, you know, to maintain 2,000 feet per minute. Which will get us nicely up to our final. We're going to be using 2,000 vertical speed, I think. That's what I'd like to use, 2,000 feet per minute on the vertical speed, because it's always a little slow. And in terms of restrictions on the arrival, we've got to be... At Laycut, we've got to be above flight level 100. Have I put in an arrow on this thing? How have I put in those arrows that it likes doing? Does anyone know that? How do I put in the arrows? I'm having a look now. Oh, okay. Oh, we need to put 10,000 A. That does nothing, they're lying. Where's the slash? Is there a slash on here? There's no slash either, so that help is no good. Yeah, I was gonna say. Yeah, I think that's what it is. Okay, what we're going to do then, so we need to be above 100 at Laycut. That's actually okay then, that's not really an issue for us. There is that red weather up ahead that's not looking so nice. We can go back to 215 knots there on the power, because our climb power has started decreasing. Can I put it in VNav? I don't know, we'll have to leave it. But luckily it's okay. And then 200 knots, 250 knots at Mariehamn, that's fine. Above 3,000 at Lastu. So that's what we want to descend for. We want to descend to be above 3,000 there. And we need to just make sure that we're not breaking the restriction at Laycut, basically. That's what we want to do. So we'll do VNav to Carvey. That's what we'll do. Apparently there's ice detected. Okay, plane. You're the boss. We'll get the that fired up. We can get that fired up too. I don't really know how there's any ice, because we haven't actually flown through any clouds, which is where obviously the ice comes from, but I guess it found a way somehow. And there we go, there's 17,000 then. Almost. Oh, we have got some bad weather up ahead apparently. However, so far today it hasn't actually been working, has it? So who knows? Oh yeah, there's 17,000 feet. We'll put back the power a little bit now. Actually, I want to go full power while we increase the speed to about 314 is the number given by SimBrief for the true airspeed today. However, I don't think we can meet that somehow. 314 is a very high number given the wind, so I think that's lying really. There you go. I'm happy with about 235 knots, that's what I like personally. And there you go, we'll just wait for the fuel. Once the fuel flow meets what I'm happy with, which is about 470, which it's still doing. You see the engine temperature is still decreasing, meaning that the power is still decreasing a little bit. There we go, that's about 470 on the fuel flow. That I'm pretty happy with that. We are actually flying through some clouds. That weather that was a problem earlier has just gone, vanished. Okay, I don't think we'll be above 10,000 at Laycut if I decide to do this. So vertical, and we want to go to Carvey. Actually no, Vivix. That's the start of our approach. So that'll be the first proper approach. And I want to do minus 2,000. Execute that. 82 miles, 15 minutes until descent then, which I think is actually might be after Laycut anyway. I think it is. So we're all good on that then. I think it's just after Laycut, 81 miles. As you can see there, we're pretty much 80, just under 80 miles from Laycut now. And that will put us at 3,000 in time for the ILS. So that's what I'll put as my selected altitude. And we'll arm... I can't arm VNav yet, we need to wait for that to become active. We're all fine. 220 knots at Carvey, we should actually be below 220 knots anyway. I'll get the ILS frequency tuned now. 110.3. 110.3. So we have actually got an ILS to follow today, which is nice. 110.3. It should register ILS 1. It does. How do we set course? We can do that. Good. We're going to set the course, the nav 1 course over here on this side, because that's the one that's currently got it active. So 218. And that'll allow this side of the FMC to pick it up, because you can only do one. This plane can only follow one set of like nav. It's nav or GPS in this plane. You can't tune both. You can't see both. But I've tuned it in there. Look, as you can see there. So that should be all good. It should just pick it up when it's ready. Decision altitude is 349, or that's Barrow. The radio, which is what this plane uses, is 200, exactly 200. So that's the speed bug. Right, down you go to 200, and that means everything is now ready. I don't know what this red weather's on about, because there's no clouds, you know, like, you know. Right, anti-ice can actually turn off now, as we have, I guess, got rid of the ice that we had earlier, and we can get rid of the windshield heat as well. And obviously, as long as we don't fly through a cloud, there really shouldn't be any need for anti-ice now, until our descent. We probably will need it in the descent, I should think. Even though it's only 13 degrees in Helsinki, but there's reported cloud. So below 10,000, I think I will turn on anti-ice. But everything else is all looking good. I don't know if your problem's trying to get my stream to work on my phone a bit there. It's being a bit buggy, a bit weird, but it's all fine now. There we go. And yeah, everything should all be good then. We'll just tune our heading round to match the current heading, and yeah, we should just be able to sit here now for a little bit. Sit back, relax. We had 25 playbacks today. That's amazing. Thank you guys. I will grab a look at the straw poll. It's had 4 votes now. That's nuts. That's pretty decent. And the other ones only had 3. That's a bit odd. Okay, I'm not complaining. Sounds good. Sounds okay. So I'm beginning to get a think of what we're going to be doing. It's amazing people actually voted on them. Thank you to whoever has voted on them. That's very much appreciated. Don't know why I said it like that, just sounded hilarious. Got nothing heading for Helsinki, so no need to report on Unicom. Next plane due in Helsinki is not for 4 hours. So we're all fine. We can also see the yoke again. Everything's all looking good then. We'll just sit here now and relax until it comes to time to descend in 10 minutes time. So yeah, just a nice little 10 minutes of relaxing, and then we can start our descent. Obviously, you know, we're only at 17,000 feet right now. It's all looking good right now. And we should be well above 10,000 at Laker. In fact, we're not even going to be descending at Laker. We're only, 9 plus 37, 46 miles from Laker, and we're descending in 52, so absolutely no problem to meet the only restriction. Really, transition altitude is 5,000. Of course, QNH right now is 1008 down in Helsinki. We should hit some new weather through. Okay, not, but there was some new weather actually. Winds are now variable at 2 knots. No wind. The wind has cleared off. I don't want to. We really should now be using a runway 04, but I don't want to. Because that will probably mess up my descent plans. If I choose that. In fact, there's... Okay, I'll stick with what we're currently using. There's not going to be any traffic approaching anyway. I don't want to go messing around with things like this in the Dash 8. Especially when the wind's only variable as well. Variable basically means we can use any runway. And obviously nothing's approaching Helsinki anyway. so we should be okay. Miles to Lakeut, and then we're going to be, well, we're going to be descending a little bit after that. That's the start of our start. It's quite a long start, really, though. So that's probably what it is. But that's pretty good. Okay. It's pretty nice outside. A few high-level clouds possibly we're about to fly into, but it's green, so we are still allowed to. There's no issue there at all. Everything's all looking good. Now just 99 miles to run until Helsinki. Apparently, that's correct. Obviously, landing it was about 15 miles off in Mariehamn, because it does sometimes do that. This plane, it has some slight weirdness that happens. You can see there it is, our top of descent. What's that other line? What's that? I think that's a waypoint. It's all sort of merged together. Look, it's not a waypoint though because it's that colour. I don't know what it is. Something. That little circle sticking out there. But it's a VOR, that's what it is. It's VOR number 1. Whatever it is tuned to. I think it's like the heading of the VOR from where we are now. +6 playback so far today. That's lovely. That's really good. Thank you, guys. And the Motorsport Manager series video I posted is doing quite well at the moment. Which is obviously really nice. And to what is hopefully that series will be popular. By the looks of it, I think people appear to be quite excited about it. We've had a number of views on it, which is very good. We've had about 13 in 3 hours, which is amazing, actually. That's about, what, between 3 and 4 an hour? No, 4 an hour. 4, 8, 12. Yeah, about 4 an hour. That's pretty good. That is pretty good. I'm up to 95 subs now, guys. 95. Come on, let's get this channel to 100, guys. Let's do it. We can do this. Colour Factory's on 101. That's amazing. Yeah, come on, guys. Just 5 more. If you guys have anything you would like me to do for 100 subs, please do say. I would like to know what it is you guys want at 100 subs. Anything special I could possibly do. It would be lovely. Obviously, you know, you guys contribute to the channel too, you know? It's nice like that. Yeah, it's on top of descent, not far now, 20 miles. Can I arm... I can't arm the VNAV path at the moment. I'm still waiting for that. Never mind. And we're definitely going to be above 10,000 at Lakeut. That weather that we saw earlier has basically actually cleared for us, which is quite nice. So that's pretty good. No ATC, obviously. You know, we haven't really been that lucky with ATC today, but never mind. Oh, we'll get the side window pitos on, so we can clear up the side window. We don't want any ice. It must have been there for quite a while, actually. Obviously, it doesn't matter the most whether there's ice on the side or not. You know, we still can't see it. It doesn't affect the working of the plane. It's just nice to be able to see outside, obviously. But yeah, we probably will have to use anti-ice on our descent into Helsinki, given I think it is going to be quite cloudy, possibly. I think we are going to have a high amount of cloud. It's a lovely plane, this. I do forget how well it runs on FPS as well. And actually, I didn't notice this until just now, but the cockpit texture issue did obviously sort itself out too. By the time we got taking off, by the time we sort of pushed back and got to taking off. So yeah, it does. You know, the cockpit texture issue does just fix itself eventually. It takes a little bit of time, but eventually it fixes itself. Also, I've only just noticed this plane, the sound doesn't cut out if I go onto another window. That's crazy. It must be because of the external flight model it uses. But yeah, the sound doesn't actually cut out if I go onto another tab. That's really cool. So yeah, we're heading in to this route, like, and then we're going to make a right turn onto the ILS. I'll get this down to 20 nautical mile range now, just to make sure I can actually see everything. It gets a little bit congested up here now. Now we're very close to descending. We can arm the VNAV path as well, because it is now in range of where we are right now. Obviously, right now we are just holding, our current waypoint, our current sort of 17,000 feet cruise altitude. But I think we could have gone up to 19,000 today, honestly. If it's an old flight level, I think we could have gone up to 190 and been okay. It wouldn't actually save us any time according to SimBrief. So, you know, okay, that's that. I mean, SimBrief should know things like that, so I'll take its word for it, I guess. Everything in terms of the ILS is all plugged in and ready to go. So, just about getting ready for the descent now. We'll go down to minimum power once our top of descent activates. It should activate in about 2 miles. There it is. So, yeah, once we intersect our VNAV path, which should be done about 400, when the VNAV path is about 400 feet away. Or 300 feet away. Oh, they go 250 feet away. There's minimum power. And yeah, 2,000 feet per minute. It's going to be a pretty quick descent. At least a little bit quicker than last time, because I wasn't happy with how slow the descent was, like, so slow last time, so I wasn't really that happy with it. We need to be at 220 knots at Carvey, which is before our turn to the ILS. That again should be totally manageable. It should not be a problem, I don't think. I don't know, there's no clouds in the area right now, so we might escape without having to use anti-ice, or it'll get warm enough that we don't need it by the time we do hit clouds. That is another possibility. This thing's just lost our VNAV path. Great. That does sometimes happen. So I'll just go back to like 1,000. We'll go back to 1,200 feet per minute, and we'll let it catch up. The VNAV path in this thing can be a little bit dodgy. At times, it can just lose its own path. Sometimes randomly. So we just need to arm VNAV basically, and just let it pick the VNAV back up again in a bit. You can see there. Look, it is slowly coming back to us. Because obviously we're only descending at 1,200 feet per minute, which is not really enough. I don't know, it does Yeah, it does do some weird things, this plane's VNAV system sometimes, like that. And there you go, it's captured the VNAV again now, which is good. And then we'll just idle the power again and let this plane drop some more. So far we've only dropped 3,000 feet, so we've still got plenty more still to drop. Yeah, we're getting some pretty nice support on those videos. Oh, okay, so every time we pass a waypoint, it seems, the VNAV path gets a bit messed up. Yeah, honestly, the support on those Motorsport Manager videos are absolutely wonderful. I'm very pleased about that, actually. It's really nice to have, obviously. Yeah, I don't know, this thing's VNAV is always a little bit dodgy, honestly. It does keep losing its own VNAV path at waypoints. But I just need to give it a little bit of power then while it just sits here and waits for the VNAV path to catch back up. Which it eventually does, even if it takes it absolute age, which it seems like it takes an absolute age. There's 11,000 feet. So seatbelt signs have to come on now. Everyone in the back, sit down. You're not going anywhere. Remember, we need to be below 220 knots at Carvey as well. We're going to be at 3,000 then at FSX. And there's 10,000 feet. Landing lights can come on. Ready for landing. Guarantee this VNAV path will go off again once we pass this next waypoint, like it always seems to do, for some strange reason. I have no idea why. It's just like, I don't know, because that's the thing, it is following the path, like 2,000 foot per minute. It is what I wanted it to follow, so it's a bit strange, but it's what this plane's like sometimes. It's just how it works. You can see there, look, we just passed another waypoint, and then suddenly, boom, suddenly we're 700 feet. So suddenly we're 1,000 feet off again. It's just how it seems to work. You know what, just forget it. I'm going to enable 1,800 feet per minute vertical speed. Just seems to work better at this point, honestly, than the VNAV path, which can be really dodgy, unfortunately, but what can you do? Right. Well, if I just get it to just hold at this altitude, because I would like to slow down for Carvey as well, so we'll use it as an excuse to slow down, because we need to be under 220 knots, remember. And then this thing should intercept our VNAV path again, hopefully. And there is a little bit of rain. Was that rain I saw? No, it wasn't. I thought I saw rain out the corner of my eye then. I must have not, or misseen it maybe. We've actually got positive temperature outside, so we shouldn't get any ice. And if we do, I'm calling physics. I'm calling broken physics, because, you know, yeah. If it's positive temperature outside, we shouldn't have air. No, we should have air. We shouldn't have. We shouldn't have, what do you call it? Also, yeah, our VNAV path has seriously messed us up here. I'm just going to take control of it manually now, I think. Yeah, the VNAV path in this thing is never the best, honestly. I'll cancel the VNAV now, and it should just go VNAV disconnect. Yeah, it's not the best. Transition altitude here is 4,000, remember? So that's what we're going to try and follow. This thing's trying to go direct to Bifix, but in the process it sort of seems to be missing a little bit. The course, I don't know what it's doing actually. If it's meant to be going direct to Bifix, it should not be heading in this direction. Right now it looks like it's going direct to Tixed to me. Well, Nav 1 can be our source, I guess. Woi! Heading. We can control the heading now before we intercept the ILS. But something just messed up there. And then altitude, we want to get altitude. There you go. Approach mode is activated, and we can get this thing on a decent approach now. Once it picks up, hopefully, the localizer. I'm a bit high, thanks to my awful. Although that VNAV, you just can't trust it. All that time where it kept saying that I was too high, I think it was just lying. Not lying, but like broken. We'll go flaps 5 to help slow ourselves down through this descent. Yeah, that was my own fault, but a little bit. A little mix of both, I think. But I need to get on the descending now so I can catch the glide path in time. Luckily, the QNH is 1008, which allows me to drop the altitude a little bit, which is good. There's the airport. 2 left we're taking today. For some reason this thing hasn't... Oh, there you go, it's got the localizer, but we're still waiting on the glide slope.
Caution, terrain. Caution,
We want that terrain, we're fine. Why is this yelling at us about terrain? We're on autopilot. There's no issue with terrain. Luckily we're still 7 miles out, so I think we're okay. I can turn off the terrain now. I'm sick of that shouting at us. Okay, it insists that it shouts at us about terrain.
Caution, terrain.
Don't worry, plane, you're okay. Oh dear. Right, there's the glide slope. I think we've got our glide slope, so this can go up to 3,000 now, which is normally a pretty good missed approach altitude. What is the missed approach altitude? It should say it on here. Oh, it is 2,000 the missed approach altitude, okay.
Terrain. Caution,
Be
terrain.
quiet. Right, gear down, flaps full. This thing should level out now, allowing me to slow down. There it is. We're levelled out, and down goes the speed. Next time I won't trust the VNAV if it keeps telling us to hold our altitude. Can't trust it. This thing's also pushing the plane nose down a little bit excessively, I think, but it's what it thinks it should be doing. Flap drive. What's flap drive? And why is it shouting at us about it? Oh, that's why. We're in the wrong flap setting. 15 I wanted, didn't I? My mistake. That should now be gone, that warning. It is
1,000.
Good. There you go. Now we can fully slow down. We can get the autopilot out now. And we can follow the glide slope down. Hopefully we'll have a bit of a smoother landing, considering we actually have a glide slope to work with this time. And we'll let the mouse here just sit there for now. Try and descend this thing enough, because I'm never able to do that properly. Winds are actually quite nice. I've got no issue with winds. Meant to be 39 minutes in the air. Looks like we're going to be pretty good with that. Nice calm winds. Perfect.
500.
There's 500. Obviously nothing on the ground here right now, so nothing heading for it. Honestly, it makes me wonder why I bother doing these flights. Why I bother doing for these flights on Vatsim.
100.
Don't get any ATC or anything. Is it just me or these approach lights slightly too high? Like, as in the glide slope wants me to go inside them.
Minimums. Minimums.
I'm suspicious of that. And
100.
if I give it a bit more power, it seems that it's
50.
capable of actually holding
40.
itself in the air and doing a better landing. So we'll try
20.
that.
10.
That's the best landing I have ever done in a Dash 8. And, I mean, that was pretty much a butter. Minus 170. That's a butter. Almost. That's 20 FPM off a butter. I'm happy with that. Right, reverse is in. Well, not in this plane. It's a bit different, but... and we can probably vacate here, actually. Thank goodness for the high-speed exit point that we had. We'll vacate here on Zulu Juliet. Oh dear, the plane is actually sliding all over the place. There we go. Stop the clock there. That didn't stop it. That just paused it. No, just it reset it. Taxiway can come on. Running lights can come off. And APU can come on. And here we are. Hello and welcome everyone to Helsinki. That was a wonderful landing. I've done worse than that in pretty much every plane I have, so I'm well happy with that. I've never ever done a good landing on one of these things. Something to be proud of. Right, we'll go ahead and taxi to stand 28, I think, 28. Because we can park, as part of Fly UK, we can park pretty much anywhere along Terminal 1, which is where we spawned in this morning. So yeah, gates 28. So we'll taxi down Zulu, and then we'll taxi down Victor Golf, and then down Alpha Charlie, and that should take us into runway 28. Not runway 28, gate 28. Perfect. That was a wonderful, wonderful landing. Hello and welcome everyone to Helsinki. I didn't actually put up the engine power for landing. Maybe that was the secret. Maybe that's what made us have a good landing. You're not meant to use... I thought you were meant to use maximum power on landing, but I did a good landing like that, so, you know. Right, here is Victor Golf. I'm going to make a right turn. Then we're going to make a left turn here on Alpha Charlie and taxi into our gate that way. Wonderful, wonderful landing that, and within 2.5 hours the stream's lasted, so that's perfect. Make a right turn now on Victor Golf. Oh, and then our gate will be on this left here, which is Alpha Charlie. Left onto Alpha Charlie. And we're entering the apron area, so we can turn off our taxi lights now. APU should have already fired up. There we go. Gate 28 is going to be somewhere along here. We should see the taxiway markings on the floor. Hopefully. Oh, nope. They're not taxiway markings for that. They're taxiway markings for the taxiway, which is Alpha Charlie. Is it this gate here? I want to say it's this gate. Nope, it's the next one. I don't think that's gate 28. No, that's gate 29er. 28's the next one. There it is, look, 28. I love this scenery actually. This Helsinki scenery is lush. It's like the same sort of quality as the Sofia scenery and the Helsinki scenery and thing. No, not the Helsinki scenery, the Dublin scenery. Obviously this is the Helsinki scenery, they're all lovely. I don't know, unfortunately the docking systems don't actually work. They just say you're an A320 all the time. They're no real help, but it's cool that they're there for cosmetic reasons, really, isn't it? I think GSX think the gate is in like slightly the wrong place. Actually, they do work. Look, you can see on there. That's our distance to go. Look, and you can see we're perfectly on the line. You can see there. Let's stop. So it does work. It does work. That's amazing. I didn't think that worked. Why have we got a marshaller then? Off go the engines. We'll request a GPU, and there we go. In Helsinki. The GPU is now in place, so we can get external power flicked on. Everything's been turned off, and that can be turned off as well. And there we go. Request deboarding. I'm going to open all our doors nicely. And there we go. And that's absolutely lovely. Cancel all the things that popped up. That all looks good. Obviously, a number of warnings are going to pop up there because we switched everything off. That's okay. It's all fine and allowed. There we go. Everything's all good then. And that is us parked at the gate with what is probably the best landing I've ever done in this plane. I'm amazed by that. I don't know how I managed that. There we go. Disconnect ourselves from Vatsim. And there we go. Thank you guys so much for watching. We've had 29 playbacks today, which is absolutely wonderful. Anyone watching who hasn't already voted on the straw polls, please do go and do that. We've had plenty of support on them so far, so that is absolutely lovely. Obviously, that series will be starting tomorrow. Yeah, that'll start tomorrow. In fact, I am just going to make a little check. Make sure it's working. We'll do a little check now. Because I use my overlay to... I use my overlay, and then after that I'll just put up the end screen. But I always use my overlay just to make sure everything's working. Okay, so I'm trying to get everything to work properly here. So say I wanted to write British GP, or round, say round 1 of 5. Like season 1. Perfect. Just make sure it fits fully. There we go. So I wanted to write that, look. You can see that. So actually, I'll take race. No, I'll take round. So there we go. That'll be ready and working for tomorrow. I can now bring up the end screen for you guys. Just demonstrating how that works, basically. Ready for tomorrow's stream. I hope you guys really enjoyed today. I just wanted to make sure that was working before I went off today, basically. So it was all working for you guys tomorrow. I thought I might as well show you guys how it's going to work as well. So that's the reason for that. But anyway, thank you guys so much for watching. I've actually really enjoyed. I don't know why, but I always think I hate this plane, and then I fly it, and I think actually I quite like this plane. It's still not my favourite, definitely. We're probably not going to fly it for a little bit again now. That's how it normally works with the Dash 8. I'll only do a stream in it every now and again, but it is nice to fly still every now and again. It's good fun still. So thank you guys so much for watching. It is lovely for those little short flights as well. I do love doing the little short flights, little short hops in it. It does make it really fun to fly. It is a good little plane to have a little bit of fun in. But anyway, that is it. Thank you guys so much for watching. I will see you in the next stream tomorrow at 1:15 BST for round number 1 of our motorsport. Well, round number 1 and probably many more rounds. I don't know how many can fit into a stream, but we'll probably try and fit in as many as we can. Based on what the straw polls say. I don't really know what we're going to be doing yet, but we'll wait and see. So far, we've had 4 votes on one and 3 votes on the other. So, yeah, again, obviously, be sure to vote. And you know, the video I posted on it earlier has had plenty of views. It's pretty good actually. So, 15 now in 3 hours. So that's pretty good. But anyway, guys, thank you so much for watching. I hope to see you in the next one. I will leave you with the background music and bye bye.